How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
It's time for the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union. Part of your community, part of your tomorrow. Welcome to Friday Night Football. Now let's send it to the field on Fort Wayne Sports Station.
And with that, we welcome you to high school football. It is the IHSAA State Tournament, the sectional semifinals in Class 5A. And since 5A is half the size of Classes 1 through 4A, sectional semifinals means it's the first week of action for most of the teams in Class 5A, including our matchup here tonight at Spuller Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School as the Concord Minutemen take on the Snider Panthers. Well, the path to Lucas Oil Stadium and perhaps a return trip for the Snider Panthers begins tonight here on their home field. And Ryan, last year, I think everyone expected that Snider had a chance to make it. I think there are still doubters, despite a number 1 ranking in the state and a 9-0 record, whether Snider has the makeup to make another trip to Lucas Oil Stadium.
You're right, and their path down there is very difficult, starting tonight with the Concord Minutemen, and then maybe another date next week with Goshen and possibly Mishawaka, and then potentially a date with Westfield down the road at the semi-state. So they got a little help last week when New Palestine was knocked out by a good Columbus East. Not knocked out, they got clobbered by Columbus East last week. So Snider has no easy road down there. It'll be very difficult for them to return down. They're a much different team than last year. They don't throw the ball a ton. They're more of a running team. Last year they rushed for nearly 3,000 yards in the entire season in a 15-game season, and already this season have already rushed for 2,888 yards. So their rushing game's in full force. They've got 2 good running backs in Money Woods and Christian Covington, and Michael Hoppert's rushed for over 500 yards this year. So Concord's going to have their hands. Let me tell you, this Concord team's no joke. They can score. The issue with them is they give up a lot of points.
Almost a mirror image, because you talk about Snider, that they've been able to run the football, have not been able to pass effectively most of the season. Very similar, the story with the Concord Minutemen. Yeah,
you're right. They got a junior quarterback, number 12, Jack Leetzen. He's out there. He's only thrown for 1,100 yards this season, but he's a runner too. 511 yards on the season. They want to get the ball to their running backs. They've got 2 good ones, Dom DeBroca and Cedric Mitchell is a wide receiver that'll get in the backfield at times too. So they like to do a little bit of trapping, different schemes, a lot of misdirection. So Snider's good defensive line and their linebackers are going to have to step up tonight.
I want to thank D.C. Hendricks back in the ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM studios. He is our studio engineer throughout tonight's high school football broadcast. Also a reminder, coming up after the game, join us at the Pine Valley Pizza Hut. We'll have the Indiana Physical Therapy post-game show, which is your first look at final scores. Also, we'll have coaches' interviews, highlights, and more. And, of course, throughout the night tonight, for those of you interested in following the World Series, we will keep you updated regularly on scoring changes, and what's happening with the Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians in the World Series at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Of course, looking around the area at some of the games, the SAC had a good week to start play last week. They went 4-1. The only blemish was Wayne's loss to New Haven. Of course, New Haven, a top 3 ranked team in Class 4A. We said this was the first first week, Ryan, for Class 5 and 6A, which really is a bit of a misnomer because with an odd number of teams being in 5A, you had a couple of games played. One of those involved two of the top teams in the state.
Correct.
At Columbus East, as you mentioned. New Palestine went into Columbus East, got thumped, and so everybody's hopes and thoughts of a rematch of that classic from a year ago already out the window. New Pal is practicing basketball.
Yeah, that's right. We were at a fundraiser last week because we were off, and every Snider fan that was there, that's what their phone was tuned to, the Columbus East and New Pal game. And Columbus East came out and really took it to them. They had a great game last year in sectionals. So, New Pal getting ready for basketball. And the other top team in the area up in the north, Mishawaka, had to play last week too. So Columbus East, Mishawaka both won, so they have an extra game under their belt. But I look forward to a good game tonight. It's a beautiful night for football.
One of the real challenges for the Snider Panthers is going to be not only their defensive line, but also at linebacker. But the defensive line, virtually almost all first team, all conference, which was announced this week. They've got the Johnson brothers, they got Zach McDowell, and with this Concord attack, those guys will have to play well tonight.
Yeah, because of all the stunts, you have to stay in your lanes. You have to be committed. You have to be disciplined to do the right things, because if you get out of your lane, I'm telling you, this Concord team can score in a hurry. Dom DeBroca is a great running back, number 34. He's rushed for 886 yards. He's got 8 total touchdowns on the season, so you got to keep an eye on him. He's a good runner, and the Concord quarterback, Concord may be here just a year early. You know what I'm saying? Is we thought about Snider a few years ago. That's kind of with Isaac Siebling. Maybe they're going to get somewhere just a little bit early because they start a lot of juniors, play a lot of underclassmen, and they're looking forward to trying to make a statement against the number 1 team in the state, the Snider Panthers.
Concord comes in 6-3 on the season. The Snider Panthers a perfect 9-0, but a couple of late season, I guess, gut checks for the Snider Panthers, including a Week 8 matchup where they had to come from 19 points down in the fourth quarter to defeat Bishop Dwenger. Maybe that's the wake-up call that got their attention. I know Coach Tippmann certainly delivered a message at halftime, because I was told that the players really didn't want to repeat what they were told at halftime, but they clearly got the message. They came out a different team in the second half after playing what Coach Tippmann admitted was really bad football in that first 24 minutes against the Bishop Dwenger Saints. And maybe that's the moment that the season turned around.
Yeah, you could be 100% correct, because they hadn't been tested. They really had not been behind. I think Concordia was the only other team probably to get ahead of them early. So against Dwenger, they decided to play football in the second half, and good thing there's 2 halves to a game, Brett, because if there weren't, they would have got pretty much beat down by Dwenger. Now we're going to have the coin flip.
And a lot of teams, I think, get that wake-up call through a loss.
You're right.
That, Snider had that last year when they had the path to the state championship. Many people might forget they lost to Bishop Dwenger that same week of the season. This year, they were able to get the wake-up call and yet still win the game. So Snider actually in a better position this year than they were a year ago when they came into the first round of the tournament with a 8-1 record. So Concord wins the toss, but they defer. That's become kind of the popular choice these days, to wait to the second half to get the football.
Yeah, and I would probably defer too. Their kicker can flat out kick the ball over there at Concord.
Well, 2 good kickers here in this game.
Gorball here, he kicks them through the end zone religiously, and he's probably going to want to do that with Mac Hippenhammer standing back. They're going to receive kickoffs tonight, so he's a good kicker. We got 2 really good kickers in this game. Should be a fun night.
We'll take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll come back. We've got the opening kickoff of Concord and Snider. It's your high school football game of the week, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function, and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise, delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Are you suffering from chronic pain? Maybe Maybe you just had a knee replacement or an athletic injury, or tweaked your back perfecting your golf swing. Choose IPT for your physical therapy. IPT is a cost-effective therapy provider who accepts all insurance plans and offers the highest credentialed and most reputable staff in the area. Same-day appointments available. Celebrating 28 years in business now with 15 area locations. Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy, getting you back to work, play, and life. Visit IndianaPT.com and start your therapy today.
Welcome to Friday Night Football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Underway, Josh Grobel with a kickoff. Hippenhammer has it. A returnable ball. He gets it across the 15, but taken down short of the 20 between the 18 and 19-yard line. And Ryan, you talked about Grobel's ability to put it into the end zone. That time he brought it to the near sideline where Hippenhammer came over and got it at about the 2, but his 17-yard return means Snider starts on their own 19, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and they had that wall set up to the right, so it took a long time for him to get there. Now looks like Concord they kind of run a hybrid 4-3, but generally it's a 3-3 with a lot of blitzes.
Michael Hoppert, the quarterback, lines up 5 yards back with Money Woods behind him, and he'll give to Woods. Bounces it to the left, gets stretched out and taken down at the 20-yard line. Good tackle that time. Number 9 for Concord.
Yeah, it was a good tackle there. He stayed in his lane. You got to do that against the Panthers. If you don't, you'll have a lot of trouble with them. And that was Damian Dawson. Dawson Damian.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. It's like he's got 2 first names or 2 last names. Quick drop and a throw for Hopper. Got a man. Hippenhammer the catch at the 25 and immediately tackled in the open field. That cushion in man-to-man coverage on the wide side of the field on Hippenhammer allowed the receiver to basically go about 5 yards, turn around, and Hoppert on target, but it brings up a 3rd down and 4. Snider at their own 25-yard line, first possession of the game here at Spooler Stadium. They put a slot receiver to the left, a wing to the right, ball's on the right hash, quick drop, looking to the left, throwing, and on the slant, it's caught by Gorman at the 30, and that's just enough for a first down. Snider moves the chains.
Yeah, good pitch and catch right there. Short quick pass to Jordan Gorman there. Nice play. Good to see them working in a couple other wide receivers here early in the game. I'm looking at Concord's defense, and I can tell you who's going to be open. It's going to be a tight end with all those guys up around the line.
Snider 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. Hopper will hand to the running back. Looks like Woods. Woods takes it behind the pile out to about the 35. So that's just good work by that offensive line to just keep moving and keep pushing. And Money Woods, a 5-yard gain, brings up 2nd down. Well, we'll call it 4 out to the 35. Looks like the stick started at the 31, so it's 2nd down and 6.
That time he just got behind the big old left tackle, Zenden Dellinger, and just rode him right down the field.
From the left hash, Hoppert gives again to Woods. This time he's running right. Heads to the hash mark, stretched out, and he's going to be taken down. There's a flag, probably a hold somewhere near that right side tight end. So far, Concord's defense doing a good job of stretching out the play without allowing the Snider running backs to turn upfield. Now the discussion. It was about a 3-yard loss on the running play, which would bring up a 3rd down and long. Or do they want to move them back 10 yards? With the spot of the foul at the 33, and they will decline it. The ball sits at the 33-yard line, so it was a loss of 2, and it brings up a 3rd down and 8. They need to get to the 41 for the first down. They're at their own 33.
Yeah, and Concord straight man-to-man here, and they're giving a little bit of cushion to Jordan Gorman.
They put the slot to the right, short side of the field. Ball's on the right hash. Quick drop. Looking. Hopper. Looking. They're coming. The rush will make him scramble left. Comes near sideline and taken down. Ball comes free, and they'll say Hopper was down. Hopper was down at the 35. Well short of a first down. It's going to force Snider into a punt, and that's exactly what Concord wanted out of this possession when they deferred on the opening coin toss.
Yeah, he had some open receivers there, but they got some good pressure. He had his big tight end, Bryson Half, wide open, running out in the right flat over there. Just didn't have enough time to see him and get the ball to him. So Snider's going to have to punt.
Paul Boozman will come in to do the punting. 8:57 on the clock, first quarter, scoreless, and they're faking it. Throwing wide out, Gorman. He catches it, 35-40, first down, across midfield. 45-40, breaks away from a tackle. Gorman finally goes down inside the 25-yard line. Huge gamble for the Snider Panthers.
You never see that out of the Panthers, never.
And it pays off. Something they had to see on film that gave them great confidence to get that one out of the playbook from their own end at their own 35. They fake the punt, throw it to the wideout on a quick slant. He had to do a lot of work and escape some tacklers to be able to get first down yardage, but once he did, he had a lot of open field. Huge gain. Snider first and 10 at the Concord 26-yard line. Handoff, Woods running right, cuts it up as he gets toward the sideline, and look at him, he's still on his feet, balanced down the sideline inside the 15. Money Woods stumbles his way down near the 10.
Wow, they look like they totally had him bunched up over there, didn't it? We completely lost him.
Yeah. What balance by Money Woods, and it's going to be a first and goal inside the 10-yard line. They'll put the ball at the 8. What an incredible run by Money Woods of 18 yards. And it looks like he was almost cut off at the line of scrimmage as he turned the far corner at the sideline. From the right hash, Huppert gives. Woods bringing it left. They've got the blocking. He's at the 5 and wrapped up.
Oh.
But he rolls right over the tackler and stays up before going out of bounds at the 4.
Wow, I think if he would have stuck his foot in the ground there, he probably could have turned that up and ran it into the end zone. But needless to say, here comes the jumbo package now for the Snider Panthers. They bring in Stroud and another big tight end, Simon Dellinger.
The tackler who wrestled him down actually pulled Woods on top of him and then rolled over. Woods never actually hit the ground, so he was still alive to run, but got it to the 4. Second down goal. Here's Woods again, following the right side of the line. He's inside the 3, taken down maybe at the 2.5-yard line. Not the hole they were really looking for on that one. It's going to bring up third and goal from just inside the 3.
It didn't look like that handoff was very clean there either, because he kind of stumbled coming up to the line, so I don't know if he got his foot stepped on or what there, but now Snider from 3 yards out with third down. Will they gamble again and just keep going here? We saw one game, they were inside here and they wouldn't kick it. They went for it.
Paul Boozman is tied for the school record in field goals. Here's the fake handoff. They roll to the right, throw in the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown! DeAndre Stroud makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Touchdown pass. The play action held the linebackers, allowed Stroud to get free, heading right in the end zone, and just a little 5-yard dump by Hopper to Stroud, and the Panthers strike first. 81-yard scoring drive, and the big play, the fourth down fake punt. Here's Boozman to try to add one. The kick is very high and splits the uprights. 7:26 remaining. Here in the first quarter, it's 7-0. Snider with the lead over the Concord Minutemen. A scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, be sure to get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut, before or after the game. Try the delicious grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99. Or order any medium pizza with your choice of toppings for just $6.99 when you order 2. Pizza Hut combines the classic taste of grilled cheese with America's favorite pizza. And right now, it's just $12.99 with a topping of your choice. Or order your choice of any 2 medium pizzas for just $6.99 each. Pizza Hut is a proud supporter of high school sports on ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
7:26 on the clock. We're in the first quarter at Spooler Stadium. Snider has taken a 7-0 lead over the Concord Minutemen, and maybe we've learned a little something about Coach Tippmann's attitude heading into this playoff run. On the very first possession of postseason, he gambles on 4th down from his own 35, fakes the punt, and Snider converts it into not only a first down, a big play, and it leads them to an early lead. Now the kick, and it's a short one, taken on the run at the 15. Whoa. Down the left side, the 20, bounces off a big hit and then goes out of bounds somewhere near the 21-yard line. Big collision on that side.
I'm pretty sure that was his own guy that ran into him on that play, Brett. Yeah, somebody knocked somebody back into him, and he ran right into him.
So on comes the Concord offense. Concord led by Jack Leetzman, or Leetzen. Leetzen's a junior quarterback, 170-pounder, 5'11". He'll have 2 running backs flanked on each side. He's in the gun. Read option, and Leetzen will keep it up the middle. He dances across 25-30 and all the way out to the 35-yard line. Just like that, 14 yards for Leetzen right up the middle, going right into the teeth of that Snider defense. And it's a defense right now playing without Austin France, who's an all-conference linebacker.
Yeah, he's unfortunately got to probably sit out this first half for the Panthers. But Leetzen, he's a left-handed quarterback. He's a little awkward, but you got to respect him in the run game. He's got over 500 yards.
Now they go 4 wide, just a single back, and Leetzen will roll. And rolling to the right, the left-hander throws and has a man at the 43, wrestled down by Wells as he gets out to the 47-yard line. That'll be enough for another first down. And just like that, Ryan, we're seeing this Concord offense and what they're capable of. A big running play by Leetzen, and then a little throw in the flat that goes for about another 11 or 12 yards.
Yeah, that throw was a 24, Damon Jackson. He's a good athlete. If he gets in space, he can really run. So Snider's got to play. You know, you got to honor both. He's a good quarterback.
He'll give it to DeBroca up the middle. DeBroca runs hard as he gets into Snider territory and inside the Panther 45, near the 43, and that's 9 yards. Basically just running it right up the gut for DeBroca.
Yeah, he was tackled by Dalston Duff right there for the Panthers. But the offensive line is very good for Concord. They're good base blocking. They're good athletes. They can move. They're good at pulling, good at trapping. So Snider's going to have their hands full with that offensive line.
DeBroca averages about 7 yards a carry, and they'll fake it to him and gets away from one tackler in the backfield. Now inside the 40, inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. And that's Leetzen with the carry. He's got first down yardage, and what looked like some miscommunication because Leetzen ran into DeBroca in the backfield but was able to recover and take it for a good gain.
Yeah, he got away from DeAndrew Stroud there. Really, Concord was fortunate on that play that there wasn't a penalty thrown on the block in the back that was missed right in front of the official. But another positive yards for Concord. They're a well-oiled machine. They can really score. They average about 38 a game.
They've got Snider on their heels here with 1st and 10 at the Panthers 32-yard line. Little crossbuck play. They give it to DeBroca, and he breaks away from attack of the line of scrimmage. 20, 15, near sideline, inside the 10, and knocked out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal for the Concord Minutemen, somewhere near the 6.
Snider just over pursuing right now, not staying in good techniques to try to tackle. They're getting off balance and just getting blown right by.
DeBroca is also a junior. They've got a couple of juniors that are key offensive weapons for this Concord Minutemen team. DeBroca Stands 5'10", 175 pounds. From the pistol, DeBroca, the left shoulder. And it will be a fake and a keep, and there's the quarterback taking it down near the 1, but there's a flag in the backfield.
Looks like it's on legal shift.
It was Leeson with the carry, getting actually just inches from the goal line, but now the flag is going to bring it back. Mistakes are so costly. Sometimes very talented teams can shoot themselves in the foot by making these types of mistakes and penalties. You go from a situation where Concord, who's been running the ball well, would have been inside the 1-yard line. They get moved back on the penalty now out to the 11.5, where it's 1st and goal.
And now it looks like Concord's going to spread it out a little bit. 3 wides. Yeah.
Got a big receiver as the wide out on the right side. Big height advantage.
Yeah, it's Damon Jackson.
Roll to the right. Here comes pressure down in the backfield. DeAndre Stroud got in the backfield and took down Leeson, and they'll mark the forward progress at the 17, but that's a loss of about 5.5 yards. Huge play.
Yeah, DeAndre Stroud is now 3rd in sacks on the team, and he didn't even start playing defense till about the 6th game of the season. He's up to 6 sacks this season, so DeAndre Stroud making his name on both sides of the ball tonight.
2nd and goal from the 17 for Concord, down 7-0. Handoff, DeBroca, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He fights away from 1 to get to the 15-yard line, but that's only 2 yards. It will bring up a 3rd and goal from the 15-yard line. And, Ryan, we're seeing what a penalty can do. A beautiful drive by Concord. Had them all the way to about the 6-inch line. And now they're facing 3rd and goal from the 15. Snider perhaps in a position where they could force a turnover here.
Yeah, and you got to watch out for Damon Jackson down here on the near side. He's got a distinct height advantage over Taj Starks.
From the hash,
right at him.
Looks, Leeson throws instead over the middle, going down and sliding incomplete. Tried to dump it off to a receiver coming across the middle, and the pass low and out of the reach of what looked like Jacob Insangrillo. So it's 3:05 left in the quarter, and here comes the field goal kicker, Groball.
Yeah, he's a good kicker.
13 of 17 in field goals this year. Has a long of 52 yards. This one will be a 32-yard attempt. There's the snap, the set, and the kick. Plenty of leg, and it is good. Groball drills it, and with 3 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter, Concord answers Snider's touchdown with a field goal. It's now 7-3, and it's a scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. The Partners First Federal Credit Union high school football game of the week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
We're back to the field, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Snider a touchdown. Concord answers with a field goal. It's a 7-3 game. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm Brett Rump with Ryan Dellinger, DC Hendricks, our studio engineer, and here's Groball's kick, and that one, Ryan, not returnable. Almost cleared the back line of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Snider will start on the 20. Their first drive, they did have a return out to the 19, but they were able to take it 81 yards. And, of course, that big play, the 4th down fake punt from their own 35-yard line, where They turned it into a big gain all the way down to the Concord 25 and eventually punched it in on a pass play from Michael Hubbard to DeAndrew Stroud. Hubbard at quarterback. Now it's Christian Covington who will be the running back on this drive. Hippenhammer lines up slot left. The ball centered in the middle of the field. Long count for Hubbard. Read option. Hubbard fakes the handoff, then lost his footing and just barely might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage or lost the length of the football. It'll be second down, and we'll say it's the 19.5. We'll call it second and a short 11.
Yeah, it looked like him and Bryson Aft, his tight end, got their feet all tangled up right there, and may have stepped on his foot and went down, but a negative play for the Panthers right there.
Clock runs, 2.5 left in the first quarter. Panthers lead at 7-3 with the football. Second and 11 from their own 19. Handoff up the middle. This time it goes to Covington, and he's met by a big host of Concord Minutemen as he gets across 22 near the 23-yard line. 3.5 yards on the gain for Covington. And that'll bring up a third down and long for the Panthers. 3rd and 7. So far, this Concord defense has really stood up and kind of controlled the Panthers' running game, both inside and outside. From the left hash in the gun, Hopper drops, looks to throw. In the pocket, he's got time, fires over the middle. Hippenhammer the catch. Let's see where they spot it. They'll give him the 31. That's enough for a first down. And, boy, that's really good job of identifying where that first down marker is. Hippenhammer will actually get credit for the 32. So the Panthers with a big third down conversion, 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Wow, what a fast-moving first quarter.
Both teams like to run the football, and not a lot of incomplete passing. Hoppert's on the left hash. He's got a single back, and he'll give it to Covington, who bounces off of one and then fights to get out to the 33.5, 34-yard line. Couple of yards on the carry for Christian Covington, following the right side of that Snider offensive line.
It looked like it was number 44 for Concord on the tackle, Brady Reed, that time. He's got 5 sacks, so he's one of their guys that does get to the quarterback quite often. It's a good tackle.
Second down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup by Covington. Empty backfield. They go 4 wide. Hubbard in the gun. Concord brings a linebacker up to show a blitz. They'll fake the jet sweep, and then Hubbard, the keeper, he gets across the 35 and then spun down at the 37-yard line after about a 3, maybe 3.5-yard gain.
Yeah, that was Brady Reed again. He was in there again. Another nice tackle by Brady Reed. They were trying to look at Hippenhammer there, but I think he was going to get tackled for a loss if he would have given him that ball.
Trips to the left. Single wide out, Gorman right. On third down and about 4. Boy, they've got it at their 37. They need the 41-yard line. Long count. Man in motion right to left, and they'll fake the jet sweep. Hopper again will try to run, and he's met in the backfield and taken down for a loss of a couple. Good penetration by the Concord defense, and that will force Snider again to what we assume will be a punt.
Wow, Kerry Perry for the Snider Panthers there got beaten like a rented mule by that defense. I believe that was Brady Reed again, and they're on another tackle.
Last time they lined up to punt, the quarter clock will wind down to 0, but Paul Boozman threw a pass out of this formation. I don't think Boozman's probably completed a pass all year prior to that. 7-3 our score after our first 12 minutes. We'll head to the second quarter next. You're listening to the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise. Delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven. Celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
Indiana Physical Therapy Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Are you suffering from chronic pain? Maybe you just had a knee replacement or an athletic injury or tweaked your back perfecting your golf swing. Choose IPT for your physical therapy. IPT is a cost-effective therapy provider who accepts all insurance plans and offers the highest credentialed and most reputable staff in the area. Same-day appointments available. Celebrating 28 years in business now with 15 area locations. Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy, getting you back to work, play, and life. Visit IndianaPT.com and start your therapy today.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Snider leads at 7-3 over the Concord Minutemen after one. The second quarter starts with Snider punting the football. Paul Boozman with a 35-yard kick, no return. It goes out of bounds far sideline, so Concord starts at their own 30-yard line. They actually sit it out closer to the 31 where they say it went out of bounds. 1st and 10, Concord from the right hash. Lietzen rolls to the left, now throws back to the right, has somebody open, sideline, caught near midfield. 50, 45, dragged out of bounds.
Another misdirection play works pretty good against the Panthers.
Whoever had the man-to-man coverage was a step or two behind on that route down the sideline. Big gain for Concord. They've got a 1st and 10 at the Snider 46.
I think it was Dom DeBroca that caught that. He came out of the backfield on the opposite way, and that's a nice play for the positive yards for Concord.
4 wide, trips to the left, ball's in the right hash, and the give will be DeBroca. No, they'll fake it and then throw near sideline, caught at the 45, down the sideline, finally out of bounds near the 38.
Brady Reed on the catch.
Yeah, it was Brady Reed that caught that, but it was a nice block right there by Nate Mayberry. He was able to get him some extra yards. He blocked Tristan Wells on that.
They've got some big receivers. Reed is 6'3", 200 pounds. Listed as a tight end, but he spreads out in the formation. Roll to the right and a throw for the left-handed quarterback, and he's got that one completed at the 32. Turn to the sideline inside the 30, and finally taken down near the 27. Another 1st down for the Concord Minutemen.
Yeah, and that's the way they you stop that rush. You just get rid of that ball super fast.
10:58 clock runs. We're in the second quarter. It's 1st and 10 from the 27 for Concord. And it's a fake handoff. And here goes Lietzen. He's got room, turning it around the right corner, heading down the field at the hash marks. He'll take it inside the 20 to about the 17. That'll be close to 10 yards, and they're going to give him a 1st down.
Yeah, we'll see if Snider's going to adjust and maybe go to a 3-4 rather than a 4-3 here and just try to fill those gaps that are being exploited by the running backs for Concord.
And you got to give credit to Lietzen, the junior quarterback, on the read option. He's making good decisions. 1st and 10, ball's just outside the 16. Roll to the left, they'll look to throw it. He rolls, gets chased near sideline. It's off the hands of the intended receiver and incomplete. Tried to dump it off to Cedric Mitchell. Mitchell, a senior wideout. He's 6'2", 180 pounds. Of course, they've also got Damian Jackson, who's a 6'3" junior. So a couple of 6'3s, a 6'2", got big targets to throw to. So even though Lietzen only a 5'11" quarterback, he's got some big guys to make some catches. Also, another one of the wideouts is Nate Mayberry. Mayberry's also 6'1".
Oh, he's stacked up.
Yep, stacked up in the backfield and taken down back at the 18-yard line. That'll be a loss. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, Lietzen's got to know where 22 Tristan Wells is. He's kind of a ball hawk back there for the Panthers. He's got 4 interceptions this year, so he's got to know where he's at. Generally, he's going to guard your slot receiver. So see what they go with here. I would be looking for Big Jackson again. I mean, he's got a big size difference on I believe that's Taj Starks out there, and Darius Morgan's out there maybe in coverage.
Lined up in the wide right side. Here's a drop. Lietzen looks to throw. Intercepted! And it's Austin France with a lot of real estate. One man to beat. 50, 40, picks up a blocker. 30, and the blocker knocked down the one-man back. Austin France will take it all the way for a
97 yards, 93 yards.
I think it's 93 yards. Austin France touchdown.
Wow.
And what a block by Hoover.
And he caught up. He was way back there.
He got out in front of France, and the one man was actually the running back, Dominic DeBroca, for Concord. He was trying to chase down Austin France, had an angle, but Ethan Hoover got in front of France, beat him down the field, and pancaked DeBroca and put him on his backside.
He sure did. It was a good play. Austin France dropped into coverage that time, and he just never saw him.
Here's the extra point. Boozman gets it up, and the kick is good. 9:26 remaining here in the second quarter. It's now 14-3. Panthers with a huge interception and 93-yard return by Austin France. And welcome to the game, Mr. France.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for him. Big interception. I wasn't sure he was going to make it. Looked like he was running out of gas.
Yeah.
Looked like you and I running
trying to get a second wind as he got past midfield. But I think he knew he had it once he saw DeBroca go down on his backside with that lead block by Hoover. So the Panthers extend their lead, and now you have to see how Concord responds, because you know what, Ryan, the Minutemen have had two really good drives in this game, and mistakes have cost them both times. There we saw the interception. On their initial drive, they got all the way to about the 1 foot line and then got whistled for a penalty that put it back outside the 10. Eventually a sack and a incomplete pass later. They had to settle for the field goal. So, you know, what could be a 14-7 game in favor of Concord because of mistakes is a 14-3 Snider lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Snider players have been there, done that. So, you know, they're not going to get rattled. But Concord has looked good on offense. Their offensive line has blocked our defensive line very well. Their quarterback has made really good decisions up to that pass right there. So, you know, they just got to do what they do. And, you know, they're more of a run-oriented team, not a passing team, so we'll see if they adjust that.
One of the keys will be if Snider can continue to build the lead, you take away perhaps their best dimension, which is the running game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so that's what Snider does to you. Once they get you behind by 2 or 3 touchdowns, it's difficult. Wow.
He punches it in the air. High pop-up kick, bobbled at the 25, but he's able to jump on it before Snider's coverage team got there. Could have been a huge turnover on that high pop-up kick.
I would say he lost it in the lights, but I don't think that's the case. And that ball basically hit him right in the face mask.
Right through the hands of Cedric Mitchell. Mitchell, a wide receiver, just didn't make the catch, went right through his hands, and he was able to fall on it. So now Concord starts at their own 25-yard line, down 14-3 with 9:24 remaining before halftime.
Trying to see what defense Snider's gone into. They're still in their base. Kind of even went to a 4-4 here. Play clock's running. I don't know if Concord knows that or not.
Down to 8. They line it up from the left hash. Leetzen, read option, and he'll give DeBroca. And DeBroca met at the line of scrimmage, and he has nothing. Will Johnson at the bottom of the pile met him at the 25. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, Snider's starting to get a little bit of pressure with that front 4 that they have. All conference front 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
2nd down. They gave him about a half yard just outside the 25, so it's a long 9 on 2nd down. The clock's under 9 minutes here in the second quarter. 14-3 Panthers. And they'll play action, throw, nice, and it's caught at the 30. Good hands that time, and the catch is made by Brady Reed. A big tight end who lines up split out in the slot, and a strike by Leetzen and a 1st down. No, it's going to be short. 3rd down and 2 at the 33-yard line. They have to get the 35 for the 1st.
I think that play is going to be there for him. I was watching Darius Morgan there, number 30 for the Panthers. He's playing off 8 to 10 yards. All I got to do is run down and stop.
New formation with a wing to the left, single back, play action, and roll to the right. Leetzen throws, far sideline. That one's almost intercepted. Is it intercepted?
It's Campbell.
Campbell comes up with a diving pick on the foot Snider. He jumped the out route and made a beautiful diving pick.
I think he actually ran the route better than the wide receiver did on that play. Looks like they're at about the 38?
And they'll get the ball at the 38-yard line of Concord. 1st and 10, and Snider could have a real backbreaker here if they can get it in and get up 21-3 still in the first half. And of course, it's mistakes by Concord, and that's one of the things we see. Talking about it, Ryan, the discipline. Mistake-free football is how you advance. Play action, rolling to the right. Hopper throws and caught by Dellinger at about the 31. He found his big tight end coming across the middle. That'll be about a 7-yard pickup, bring up 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, I'd say the middle's going to be open. The Concord's defense really sells out, so that middle's going to be open. And the tight ends are going to be a real big option for Hopper tonight.
Money Woods back as the tailback behind Hopper. And he'll get the handoff up the middle. Woods inside the 30, just keeps pushing. For a guy who doesn't look that big, amazing power because he's able to take that pile for first down yardage. That should be a first down. Well, inside the 28.
Coach Tippmann's pointing.
Coach Tippmann's already got it measured up. And there it is. The referee came up and he agreed with Coach Tippmann. First down, Panthers.
That's usually a good idea to agree with Coach Tippmann. If you're the official.
Clock approaches 7 minutes left, and it's running here in the second quarter. Panthers are up 14-3, trying to take advantage of their second interception. And there's movement. Movement up front. That'll be a false start called against the Snider Panthers and bring him back 5 yards.
They could have called that on about 4 different guys on the Panthers and probably call it on the center.
What was funny is Hopper was looking over at the sideline. I don't know what they heard that caused him to move because it looked like Hopper was looking over for the play.
Oh, no, he said it was on me. He's pointing if that was on me. Maybe he was just talking too loud.
Yeah. So here we go with a 1st and 15 with the ball back at about the 32.5-yard line. They'll go play action. They're going to go deep. They got Hippenhammer at the goal line. Touchdown, Panthers. Post route deep. Hippenhammer got behind the safety. And a touchdown, 33 yards. Hopper to Hippenhammer. And the Panthers go up 20-3 with 6:41 left second quarter.
Wow. He just ran right by him, didn't he? Planted his foot, broke it inside, and the ball was on target. That was all set up by Vince Campbell with that interception.
Paul Boozman comes on to try to tack on point number 21. Panthers now with 14 points scored off the turnovers for the Concord Minutemen as Boozman drills the extra point. A scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. It is the Partners First Federal Credit Union high school football game of the week with 6:41 left in the second quarter. Snider leading it over Concord 21-3 on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Making it easy to get the best deal.
For 17 years, Northeast Indiana finds the best deals on quality previously owned vehicles at Best Deal Auto Sales. Reliable vehicles offered at or below wholesale prices. The selection is great and the deals are even better at any of the Best Deal Auto Sales 5 Northeast Indiana locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales.
Best Deal Auto Sales.
BestDealAutoSalesOnline.com.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
The number 1 team in the state in Class 5A, the Snider Panthers, the defending state champions, are in front of the Concord Minutemen 21-3, 6:41 left in the second quarter. With Ryan Dellinger, I'm Brett Rump, DC Hendricks handling things back in the ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM studios. Here's the kickoff by Boozman. High kick toward the far sideline, taking it the 3-yard line. The 10, 15, got a seam, crossed the 20, and then met at the 25, and it was not Boozman because he's still standing about where he kicked the ball, but it was the next to last man back.
Yeah, I think Paul Boozman learned his lesson a couple weeks ago when he made a tackle on a kickoff return. It was a heck of a lick that he sort of put on the guy.
Yeah, but he might have taken the greater amount of punishment.
But nonetheless, he's in the stat book with a tackle.
Concord needs to get things turned around. They had momentum early. They've driven the football pretty well, picking up yards, but they've had mistakes. A 93-yard interception return by Austin France gave Snider one touchdown. In the very next drive, Concord threw another pick, and Snider had the big pass play from the right hash. It'll be a give up the middle. DeBroca out to the 27-yard line. Short gain of a couple for DeBroca.
The Snider defense has made a slight adjustment on how they're rushing up the field. They're not going the standard 4 yards up now. They're only going about 1 or 2 and then staying home and trying to force that back into the middle. Now that Austin France is in there playing at linebacker, they can do that. But DeBroca's a strong runner.
Second down, 8. Minutemen from their own 27-yard line. They'll put Reed as the slot to the left. He's the big target. And a high snap handled by Leetzen. He rolls. Here comes France, who applied pressure as Leetzen threw it, and the pass is completed at the 35-yard line. Wow, did Leetzen ever do a great job of handling that high shotgun snap and then having the presence of mind to be able to find somebody downfield, but there's a flag and it's an ineligible receiver downfield. And, there it is, Ryan.
Yeah.
Mistakes. Concord keeps shooting themselves in the foot, if not with turnovers, with penalties. There they would have had a first down out at the 35, and instead they're going to get marched off a penalty and put themselves in a second and very long situation.
Yeah, but that high snap really took them out of what they really wanted to do on that play. We've seen their snaps. They're all have been fairly high to their quarterback and kind of slow. So that's going to help Snider's rush. But that was a great pass. That had a little bit of like a Steve Young type play right there, wasn't it?
Took a couple of steps to his left and then fired a bullet right over the middle. So it's second down and 14. Drop, pump fake. They'll set up the bubble screen, and it's caught at the 17, but Snider's all over it. A loss on the play. They completed the bubble to Anthony Kyle, but it's like Snider read the Concord playbook. They had about 4 Panthers right on top of him, and it's now going to be third down and 18 with the ball at the 17-yard line.
Quite frankly, Concord's lucky that didn't turn into an interception with all those black jerseys standing there. And now Snider's going to see if they bring any pressure if they drop back in a zone here.
From the center of the field, Leetzen has 2 wide each side. Single back, he'll drop in the pocket, look to throw to the right, and it's intercepted at the 28, the 10, the 5, and all the way, touchdown! Taj Starks, an overthrown ball, and Snider with their 3rd interception here in the first half, and the second one they've taken for points. 28-yard return on the interception by Taj Starks, and the Panthers are starting to turn this one into a rout, leading at 27-3 with 4:35 left in the second quarter.
Wow, Panthers playing some defense. They did drop back into a zone on that play.
Paul Boozman will get set to add the extra point. The snap is good, and the kick looks like a beauty. It's right down the middle, and the Panthers are up 28-3 over Concord. 4:35 left before the break. You're listening to the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise. Delivering 42 miles per gallon, it's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven, celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
With 4 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the first half, I'm Brett Rump with Ryan Dellinger, and it's a 28-3 Snider lead. They have turned 3 interceptions into touchdowns. 2 of them returned for scores. One by Austin France of 93 yards, and that one by Taj Starks, 28. High pop-up kick again. Caught at the 20. Going across the field, escapes one, 25-30, 35-40, far sideline, all the way across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Cedric Mitchell with a big return, and that was possible because he was able to get all the way from the left side of the field to the right and get outside that wall.
Yeah, he made number 22, Tristan Wells, miss for the Panthers. He didn't have good contain there, and then he just broke around the right side. He's a big guy, too. I mean, Concord has great size on this team. They're young, so this should help them next year. But they have really good field position here.
Starting at the 48-yard line from the right hash. This time they go with a bunch formation. And they'll roll to the left, then throw it back to the right. And it's low. And, boy, again, you had Slaughter trying to, I think it's, well, no, it's number 30.
Yeah, it's Denarius Morgan.
Denarius Morgan, who tried to jump the route. Pass was low, and it will be incomplete. So it's second down and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, Snider, it's almost like Snider knows which play's coming now when they're running their pass plays.
Drip receivers, wide side left, single wide out right, read option, and the give to Broca up the middle, powers across the 50 into Snider territory at the 48. 4-yard gain for DeBroca will bring up third down and 6 for the Minutemen, trailing at 28-3, and the clock winding down under 4 minutes here in the first half.
This is a big drive for Concord. If they can get on the board here, whether that's a field goal or a touchdown, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. A fast-moving first half.
Coming up at halftime, we've got DC Hendricks with your McDonald's halftime scoreboard, all the area scores. Plus, we'll give you an update on anything that's happening with the Cubs-Indians World Series Game 3. Shotgun snap, and they'll fake it to Broca to keeper Leetzen. He's got room right side, and he'll take it all the way to the far sideline and get the first down at about the 41. That's the second time that on that read option, Snider has bit to the inside on that fake handoff to DeBroca. And Leetzen's got some pretty quick feet. He gets around that edge pretty quick.
Yeah, Chance Wilson, the right tackle out there. He's been doing a great job of getting his guy turned inside so they can get that edge.
From the right hash, first and 10. Concord has it at the Snider 40. DeBroca does get the handoff. Nice hole up the middle. DeBroca inside the 35, spinning his way to the 32-yard line. 8 yards right up the gut for DeBroca. DeBroca came into the game on the season with almost 900 yards of rushing. Averages 6.9 per carry. And about right at 100 yards a game. Second down and 2. High snap, but it's handled. DeBroca, same play. Up the middle, he's got another hole. He's inside the 25, inside the 20, finally to the 18 before Snider wrestles him down.
Yeah, Snider's just got those 2 inside linebackers in there, and if you get through that line, you're going to have some opportunities to break some big ones there. And right now, Concord has figured out how to get to that second level and get some real good positive plays.
Same exact play 2 times in a row, and it's been effective both times. First and 10 in the red zone. Concord has it at the Snider 18-yard line. 2:40 and the clock runs. Here in the second quarter, it's 28-3 Snider lead. Leettzen will give it to DeBroca, following the right side of the line this time, and that's not as effective. Pushed back by Johnson and Johnson, the baby powder tandem. right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Second down. Well, they'll give him forward progress. They'll put the ball at about the 17. We'll call it second down and 9.
And DeBroca, he's stretching out right there. I don't know if he got... Well, when Johnson & Johnson hits you tomorrow, you're going to know it.
Under 2 minutes to play. We're in the first half. Concord second down, short 9, just inside the 17. Handoff up the middle. Hit hard at about the 15-yard line, and with the carry, it's Anthony Kyle. But he doesn't get enough to really make much of a difference here. Third down and 6, and you think it's probably 4-down territory for Concord, even though they've got a good kicker. They're down by 25 points. Minute and a half left, and the clock keeps running. Clearly, Concord doesn't want to score too soon. They're somewhat fearful of this Snider offense and the deep threat in Mac Hibbenhammer, who already scored on a big play earlier. So they're letting the clock run down to a minute 15. And it'll be the read option. They'll fake the handoff. A run up the middle for Leetzen. He takes it close to the 10-yard line. Now it's going to be fourth down and about 3. This will be an interesting call. The clock goes under a minute left here in the first half on a fourth down. And Snider not taking timeouts either. So Concord is very content to wind this as far as they want to take it. And now a timeout's called.
That's an odd timeout, to be honest with you. They could have ran off another 20 seconds.
Yeah, if you're going to let it burn, you might as well let it burn. 48 seconds, there's a timeout on the field. Snider leads it over Concord 28-3. It's the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut, before or after the game. Try the delicious grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99. Or order any medium pizza with your choice of toppings for just $6.99 when you order 2. Pizza Hut combines the classic taste of grilled cheese with America's favorite pizza. And right now, it's just $12.99 with a topping of your choice. Or order your choice of any 2 medium pizzas for just $6.99 each. Pizza Hut is a proud supporter of high school sports on ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM.
We're back to the field. Presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
With 48 seconds left here in the second quarter, it's fourth down and about 2.5 for the Concord Minutemen. They've got the ball at the Snider 11-yard line. They need close to the 8 for a first down. The ball's centered in the middle of the field. DeBroca lines up left shoulder of Leetzen. Man in motion from the wide right across formation to the left. And it's a roll to the left, looking to throw. They do. It's caught at the 5, heading for the pylon and out of bounds inside the 1. First down and a fourth down conversion for the Concord Minutemen. The catch made by Damian Jackson.
Yeah, very good play. Came in motion, came right across. It's impossible to try to stop that play. And good play by Leetzen. A nice pitch and catch. And first and goal.
Leetzen gets the play call from the Concord bench. 43 seconds. The clock is stopped. 28-3. Snider leads, but Concord is down inside the 1. First and goal, and there's flags. Handoff goes to DeBroca, and he has stood up and pushed backwards at the line of scrimmage. He does not get in. Now let's find out about the flag.
It's a legal shift, I believe.
It is an illegal shift, and again, we've seen Concord 2 times get inside the 1-yard line and pick up penalties.
And I think the illegal shift was actually on the running back.
Hands on hips. Concord not believing how many times here in the first half they have made key mistakes. 3 interceptions. And now the second penalty when they've had it inside the 1-yard line. And now another timeout's called with 34 seconds. 28-3 the score. Snider with the lead.
Boy, there's some good games going on around the area, don't you think, tonight, Brett? Dwenger making a statement tonight, it looks like. Look, maybe you talked about Snider having their scare. Maybe Dwenger had it last week.
Of course, coming up here at halftime, we'll get you the scores. D.C. Hendricks will give you the McDonald's halftime scoreboard from the ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM studio. studios. And, of course, tonight, the Chicago Cubs, Cleveland Indians, Game 3 of the World Series. We'll keep you updated throughout the high school broadcast tonight on what's happening at Wrigley Field. And after the postgame show is over, we will from ESPN Radio at 11 o'clock tonight. So coming out of the timeout with 34 seconds remaining in the half, it's 28-3. Snider in the lead. After the penalty, the ball marched back to the 6-yard line where it's 1st and goal. Concord's on the left hash. Leets in the quarterback. DeBroca, the lone running back. Man in motion, goes across formation left to right. They'll fake the jet sweep. Now look to throw. They throw on the far side. It's caught at the 5 and wrapped up.
And in bounds.
And actually, it'll be a loss. They'll mark him back around the 7 or 8-yard line.
I think they're saving their timeout just in case you got to kick a field goal here.
Yeah, you're down to 15 seconds, and they're trying to hustle. They've got one timeout remaining. Clock's down to 10, and they still haven't lined up. And finally, Concord's going to have to take a timeout. Just bad clock management throughout the last minute or so of this first half. You can add that to the list of mistakes by Concord. Seeing the difference between a disciplined team that knows what it takes to win in the postseason and another team that has good talent, but they are young. And they've not been on this stage often, although Concord does have some successful runs down to Lucas Oil Stadium. Many of those happen in Class 4A.
Right, and now with that timeout, you know they have to put this ball in the air. And Snider's already picked off 3, and they're going to be jumping routes all over the place. So this is a tough spot for Concord. At least they have a really good field goal kicker if they have to turn to him here. But maybe Snider brings some pressure, but they've been doing well in the zone. And, you talked about DC having the scores. A couple upsets brewing.
Yeah, so we'll get those scores coming up at halftime. Here's a situation where I think you have to go 2 plays ahead, and you can only have one option, and that's to throw it in the end zone, because you can't complete it short of the goal line. You can't run it. So if I'm Snider, I'm overloading out wide in the corners of the end zone, watching for that fade. And they got the big receiver in the slot left. They'll throw the fade in the end zone, back of the end zone, going up and can't bring it down. Not enough room in the back line of the end zone. It's incomplete. They threw the fade, but threw it too far. Good coverage by Snider. And it will be 4 seconds remaining on 3rd down, and it will be the field goal kicker. So here comes Groball to try to kick his 2nd field goal of the night. Try to get his 15th on the year. This one from 23 yards. He already made one from 32, I believe, earlier tonight. This one from the right hash. Good snap. The kick. Picked up. Snider picked it up. And here goes the sprint down the sideline. 50, 45, 40, 30, 25, 20. Nobody's going to catch him. Goes all the way to the house. Touchdown.
Darius Morgan.
The clock was zeros. And Snider blocks the field goal and returns it all the way for a touchdown.
Wow. How long was that one, bro?
Had to be 90 yards.
90 yards. So Snider's offense doesn't have to do much tonight because their defense and special teams are doing everything.
What a turn of momentum. And, of course, Concord will get the ball first in the second half, but at this point, does it matter? They had another chance inside the 1. And here Snider's the one kicking the extra point to end the first half. 35-3. The Snider Panthers take the lead to the locker room in a game that is no way near a 35-3 game in difference of talent.
Wow.
But Snider takes advantage of Concord mistakes, and Concord made too many of them here in the first half. And they've got to regroup and try to deal with the number 1 ranked team in Class 5A here in the second half. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you a recap of the scoring in the first half. And a lot of the scoring is going to be defensive players and special teams. The Snider offense, not the ones doing it. And as the teams go to the locker room, a discussion with the officials and a very animated discussion with Concord's coach and the referee crew.
Oh, he's having some serious words with those.
Very serious. Pointing, hollering, and not happy at all.
I'm surprised he's not getting a personal unsportsmanlike. Oh, and he's coming back now.
Yeah, now he's turning around.
And I think he's
another word.
Ejected.
Yeah, he might be, because the referee is now walking over toward the Snider athletic director.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been ejected, or at least an unsportsmanlike.
There's a discussion going on over here on the near side because the Concord coach, which is from the Elkhart area, as he came across the field, he decided to start taking it out on the referee, and I'm not sure what he was upset about. But he continued to jaw all the way across the field to the near side locker room, and then as he started to get halfway across the running track, he turned around and decided to continue the conversation and just wouldn't let up. Well, they say, let's get the halftime clock started, so we'll send it to break. Kind of an interesting way to end our first half. Not only a blocked field goal that's returned for a touchdown on the half's final play, but then...
I think I saw that sign, didn't you?
We'll find out when we come back. 35-3, the score here at the break. Snider leads it over Concord. You're listening to the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio, 1380 and 100.9 FM.
For understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
DC Hendricks here. I'm here with the McDonald's halftime scoreboard. Got some scores for you, some updates for you. Local high school football sectionals here in the area. You are listening to Concord versus Snider. ESPN 1380 football game of the week. Snider currently leads 35-3 at the half. Got a record-breaking night. Northrop battling Homestead. Homestead leads Northrop 35-17. Jordan Presley becomes the leading rusher in single-season Homestead history. He passes Will Luzar from 1984, becomes the single-season most rushing yards leader in Homestead history. Congratulations to Jordan Presley. Other scores around the area. Warsaw leading Carroll 13-7. Goshen leading Northside 15-0. Have East Noble playing Plymouth. East Noble currently leading 28-22. Bishop Dwenger routing Mississinewa 35-2. New Haven Bulldogs battling Southside Archers coming off the big upset win over the Leo Lions. New Haven currently leading 23-7. Game on 106.7 FM. Garrett currently leads Culver Academy 14-0. In the game, Dwenger, Mississinewa. Amon Clark was helped off the field in the second quarter with a left ankle injury. No weight put on it, reported by the Journal-Gazette. No news has been further reported on that. So Amon Clark is out for Bishop Dwenger. Jimtown is leading West Noble 7-0. Bishop Lures routing Peru 41-6 at the half. If Lures wins, rematch with Concordia next week. Local match for you guys to look out for. Belmont trailing Concordia 34-0. Concordia, Peter Morrison, 4 touchdowns in the first half. Chernobusco leads Whitco 13-0. Woodland battling South Adams, currently tied 7-7. Adams Central leading Shenandoah 21-0, and Kokomo leading Huntington North 17-0. Those are some of your scores here for high school football. We'll send it out back out to the field. Brett Rump, Ryan Dellinger on the call. You are listening to the high school football game of the week. Halftime scoreboard presented by McDonald's. Now with all-day breakfast. For all the latest information, follow McDonald's of Northern Indiana on Twitter at MCD_NorthernIND. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Second half action. Snider Concord, Brett Rump, Ryan Dellinger. You are listening to the high school football game of the week. ESPN Radio 1380 AM, 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut, before or after the game. Try the delicious grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99. Or order any medium pizza with your choice of toppings for just $6.99 when you order 2. Pizza Hut combines the classic taste of grilled cheese with America's favorite pizza. And right now, it's just $12.99 with a topping of your choice. Or order your choice of any 2 medium pizzas for just $6.99 each. Pizza Hut is a proud supporter of high school sports on ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM.
If you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, like me, coming home can be harder than expected. I felt a little out of place, but it turns out I wasn't alone. At IAVA.org, there's a free online community of thousands of OIF and OEF vets who've got your back here, just like they did over there. So now, I'm never alone. I can get the resources I need and talk to tons of people who understand where I'm coming from.
Whether it's navigating the GI Bill,
or VA hospitals,
managing the transition home, or meeting people you can share stories with,
You'll find it at IAVA.org. Even if it's just everyday stuff. Like getting tips on where to find a nice sweater for my dog. Did he just say that?
Really?
What?
Okay, maybe not that, but everything else. No matter where you are, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Brought to you by Iraq Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice in Northern Indiana. Are you suffering from chronic pain? Maybe you just had a knee replacement or an athletic injury or tweaked your back perfecting your golf swing. Choose IPT for your physical therapy. IPT is a cost-effective therapy provider who accepts all insurance plans and offers the highest credentialed and most reputable staff in the area. Same-day appointments available. Celebrating 28 years in business now with 15 area locations. Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy, getting you back to work, play, and life. Visit IndianaPT.com and start your therapy today.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit PartnersFirstCU.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Thank you for spending part of your Friday night with us. I am Brett Rump with Ryan Dellinger at Spooler Stadium on the campus of Northrop High School, where at halftime, the Snider Panthers are up 35-3. And you hear the old cliche, Ryan, and there are games that are much closer than the score indicates, and this really, truly is one of those.
I completely agree with you. You know, we've watched the first two halves, and pretty much Concord's going up and down the field. Other than those interceptions, they've really done well with ball control and been able to control the line of scrimmage and make a lot of things happen, make a lot of Snider guys miss. But Snider just has taken advantage of every opportunity, that extra opportunity they've been given tonight. And they have two defensive touchdowns already and another interception set up a touchdown to Hippenhammer. So Concord's playing a good game. They're just not protecting the ball like they need to.
Certainly for Snider in limited offensive opportunities, because they just didn't have the ball that much since they were scoring with defensive special teams. But in limited offensive opportunities, they have been able to move the football. And I think another thing when we talk about mistakes and avoiding them is that Snider really gambled there. On the very first drive of the game, they had 4th down. And I believe it was 4th and 6 at their own 35-yard line, and they lined up in punt formation. And Paul Boozman, who is not exactly a guy you'd expect to use his right arm, he uses his leg quite well, but he actually they faked a punt. Boozman threw the pass to the wideout, and he was able to escape some tackles and get first down yardage, and then break free down the far sideline and take it all the way to the Concord 25. Snider uses the fake punt to move the chains, keep possession of the football, seemed to kind of set the tempo of the first half, because Snider eventually scored to take a 7-0 lead, and Concord has never been on top since.
Yeah, they did. You know, we don't see Snider run a lot of trick plays, and then they do it, and most teams don't see it in film, so they can't prepare for it. And Snider's Kurt Tittman pulls out a trick play there. I mean, do they go onside kick here? Is he that big of a gambler here? But
no, it's 35-3. Yeah. I think you've got them where you want them, because you certainly had to get in their heads. The final play of the first half was a blocked field goal attempt. Snider not only blocked it, but they returned it the length of the field for a touchdown as the clock wound down to zeros.
Yeah, and it's that guy Dom Slaughter. He blocks everything. Punts, field goals. He does everything on special teams. And he blocked it again, and that ball took one hop right into Morgan's hands, and off he was to the races.
Ready to start our third quarter. It's Snider kicking off to Concord. Snider's going to go left to right as we look at the field from the east side press box here at Spooler Stadium. Boozman with the boot. It's a very high kick, but this time it's a deep kick. Taking it the 2-yard line, middle of the field, cutting to the right, trying to get outside across the 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And now Boozman, the only man back. And he missed him. Slaughter trying to catch up at the 20, the 15, and Slaughter will take him down inside the 15-yard line at the 13. And that is an 85-yard return.
That's a big play for Concord. Get it right down there right away, set the tone for the second half. And once again, the Panthers just over-pursue on the kickoff, and that's all it takes to let that guy was flying down the sideline.
And, of course, Boozman, who we've seen have a big collision before on a kickoff when he attempted to make a tackle. That time he tried to do it without getting his head in the way.
Yeah.
But his arm's not quite long enough to pull down the runner. Fortunately, he did slow him down just enough that Slaughter could get back. And there's a high snap all the way over Leachman, and back at the 32-yard line, he has to dive on it.
Wow.
Oh, my. This is what Concord has done to themselves the entire night. They had the ball at the 13, and they snap it into a 19-yard loss.
That ball went a good 2 feet over his head.
Leachman, a 5'10 quarterback. He'd have had to be about 6'10 to reach that one.
Absolutely.
In the first minute of the second half, Snider leads it 35-3. Second down and 28 to go from the pocket. Leachman throws, almost picked off. Starks in man-to-man coverage. The completion made. Well, it got through Starks, and then it was completed. A short little hitch route. Starks wrapped him up and brought him down just inside the 25-yard line. Gain of about 9 yards.
That was Damian Jackson once again.
Still third down and 22 to go. They can get a first down without a touchdown. First down marker at the 3-yard line. Concord has it at the 24.
4-down territory for sure for the Minutemen.
From the right hash, Leachman drops, looks. Now Tuckett run up the middle of the field. There's a flag in the backfield as Leachman takes it inside the 15 to the 13.
Wow, there should have been two. I'm surprised if he had a second flag, he could have thrown it twice. The official did, but he's just going to call the hole. And then there was a block in the back that was on. He held DeAndre Stroud and then blocked Will Johnson in the back. And Will Johnson's very fortunate he did not get hurt on that play because it was right into his hip. But that 10-yard penalty is going to be costly.
It's going to mark it all the way back outside the 30-yard line. And they're going backwards. In fact, it's way outside the 30, all the way to the 38. 10-17 left here in the first half, or in the third quarter. And it's 35-3, Snider in front. Concord had a kickoff return all the way to the Snider 13. They now find themselves in third down situation at the Snider 38-yard line. Third and 35, not even in field goal range. Here's a long pass going for the home run ball, and it's incomplete inside the 5 on the far sideline. No flag on the play. If there was one, it would have been offensive pass interference because it looked like the receiver was trying to use his free hand to push away. Good tight man-to-man coverage all the way down that sideline. It's now fourth down at the 38, and it's fourth and 33, or rather 35 at the 38-yard line. And you talk about four-down territory. This isn't the kind of four-down territory you want when you have fourth down and 35 to go.
Yeah, and you don't have a play for this.
Hail Mary is about all you can do. Drop in the pocket, and there's the throw, deep sideline, and it's going to be incomplete.
Actually, it's a good thing he dropped
it. It almost was intercepted, but he dropped it. So Snider takes over, and again, Concord with great opportunity. And they shoot themselves in the foot for, about the fifth or sixth time.
The Panthers will get really good starting position here. See if he takes a deep shot right away to Hippenhammer. He's had good time throwing the ball that Michael Hoppert has. So, and it's got to be demoralizing for Concord. They've had good drives, just can't even get it going.
2 times they've been inside the 1-yard line. 2 other times they were in the red zone, and yet they've got 3 points.
Ouch.
First and 10 Panthers at their own 38-yard line. They'll bunch the formation. Looks like they add an extra tight end. Shotgun for Hoppert. Money Woods the back, and it's a fake to Woods. And Hoppert, far sideline. Look at Hoppert go. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Hoppert took it all the way. a better job at halftime of making adjustments than the Snider coaching staff. Something they saw set it up for a unique formation we have not seen much, but Hopper got around that left end, and Concord underestimated his speed and took a bad angle, and Hopper just beat everybody down the sideline for the 62-yard touchdown run. One play. The extra point by Boozman. He's 6 for 6, 42-3 Panthers. A one-play scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. It is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio, 1380 and 100.9 FM.
And now, your Crumback Chevrolet starting lineup. The full-size pickup with power improvement performance. The redesigned Silverado with the perfect blend of form and function and named most dependable midsize car. The Malibu. Crumback helps you get the most out of every gallon with the groundbreaking Cruise. Delivering 42 miles per gallon. It's the compact car with premium comfort. And the versatile Equinox takes you where you want to go in style. This starting lineup from Crumback Chevrolet, 930 East in New Haven. Celebrating 45 years of helping the Fort Wayne area find new roads. Find us online at CrumbackChevy.com.
Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Back at Spiller Stadium, where the Panthers just continue to pound it on the Concord Minutemen. A one-play drive. Concord started the second half, Ryan, with first down at the Snider 13. Penalties, mistakes with a high snap over the quarterback's head, and the next thing you know, they fail on a fourth down at the 38. One play later, Snider makes them pay. Michael Hoppert, a 62-yard touchdown run, and the Panthers have extended their lead to 42-3. The kickoff goes into the end zone. That'll be an automatic touchback. So now Concord starts on their own 20-yard line, and this one has gotten away from them in a hurry.
It sure has. You know, if you're listening out there, you really can't see what happened in the first half, and you got to. This game was a good game in the first half, even though the score doesn't indicate that. You know, Snider usually has a huge crowd here, but they got people all over the country that listen to them on the TuneIn app, from New York and California. We even have somebody from Australia listening to us tonight. I won't tell you how I know that, but they have to be related. So
I don't think it's tonight. They're probably listening to this in an early morning.
Tomorrow, yeah. My wife's uncle's listening to us all the way from Australia.
Hand off to the running back. Taking it wide right, breaking tackles, and then cutting up at the sideline before getting knocked out of bounds somewhere out near the 28-yard line. Well, it's a good determined run by Anthony Kyle, who's a senior running back, most likely playing in his final game. Keep looking if that's number 1 or number 7.
I believe that's number 1. He's played wideout as well. Anthony
Kyle's listed, at 5'7". I was looking at the wrong player. Handoff up the middle, and that's not going to go for anything. Taken down right at the 25. That's actually a loss of a couple of yards. Snider penetration up front with those all-conference defensive linemen, including DeAndre Stroud and Will Johnson.
Yeah, that was another play where they were fortunate that ball didn't go over the quarterback's head. He barely caught it with his fingertips and threw that play completely off.
Under 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. Snider leads at 42-3. Another high snap. They'll fake and then roll out left. Here comes the rush, and down goes Leetzen. And it's Big Lawrence Johnson with the sack.
I can feel it up all the way from here, Brett. If you turn around and Big Lawrence Johnson is running you down, you better get rid of the ball in a hurry, because if he gets you, it's going to hurt tomorrow.
The sack back at the 15-yard line, and it's going to be a punt formation for Concord. And I'm thinking this is the first time we've seen Concord punt all night.
Absolutely, because of those interceptions.
They turned it over.
And they got to know where Dom Slaughter is once again on punts. Safety.
There's the punt. High kick. Comes to Ridley. Ridley dropped it, but right there, Ethan Hoover.
Right on it.
His second big play of the game to jump on it for Snider. Could have been a huge turnover as Demarius Ridley had trouble handling the punt at his own 46-yard line, but Hoover bailed him out.
Yeah, the Concord player ran right by the ball.
Hoover has really done a job for his teammates tonight because if you remember that Austin France interception from the red zone, he would not have returned it the length of the field if it were not for Ethan Hoover to get out in front of him and set the key block that got him to the end zone. And right there, he kind of bailed out another teammate by jumping on his fumble. So here come the Panthers. Low snap, it's bobbled, and it's kicked into the middle of the line, and I think Concord jumped on it.
I think you're right.
Nope. No, somehow that ball bounced its way around and got back to Snider.
Yeah, Money Woods. And he got a yard out of it.
He had to go in among the big guys and try to find that ball, but it was bounced around like a pinball machine, and somehow Woods got it. So the Panthers with a break there. They get about a half-yard gain close to the 48-yard line. Second down, 9. From the pocket, Hopper will throw. A little out route for Hippenhammer, and it's in front of him and at his feet. Incomplete. 5 yards down the field. A long throw for Hopper because it is from the right hash, throwing it all the way across the field on a left out route. But it's one he's got to come closer than that.
Snider's not sure what play they're going to run here. They brought in another wide receiver. Michael Lido Jr. is in there at wide receiver.
Third down and 9 from the 48-yard line. It's from the right hash. Hopper in the gun. Single back as Woods. Drop in the pocket. He's going to look throw, and he's throwing a deep post route. Got a man! Caught at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Gorman goes all the way. 52 yards, and again, Snider runs the post route. We saw it with Hippenhammer in the first half. This time it's Gorman. Touchdown, Panthers. They extend their lead. Gorman, a 5'8", 165-pound senior wideout. And again, the Panthers just blew right by the safeties. 48-3, 6:43 left third quarter, and now Boozman will try to add one more. And Boozman is 7 for 7 in extra points, and the Panthers are up 49-3. A scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM. Been all Snider here in the second half. They lead at 49-3 over the Concord Minutemen. 6:43 remaining in our third quarter. And of course, if you're looking for World Series baseball, we'll have it for you tonight after our high school football coverage. Starting at 11 o'clock, we'll flip it over to ESPN's coverage of the World Series with Dan Schulman and the crew from ESPN Radio. It's zip in the second inning. And we'll keep you updated on any scoring changes. There's Paul Boozman's kick all the way into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Concord will start at the 20-yard line. Haven't seen anybody make as many mistakes in a game as Concord has made. Just sloppy football. Mistakes with penalties, mistakes with turnovers, a bad snap. They found every which way to play poorly.
They have, absolutely, and Snider has made them pay anytime they do play poorly. And Snider looking, and now the fans will try to look at the scoreboard and see what's going on. Goshen is winning 35-0 over Northside, so it looks like the Panthers could be on the road next week.
It's a read option play. Leeson fakes the handoff, keeps it, tries to find running room to the left side, and not a lot there. He got to the 22. 2-yard gain brings up 2nd down and 8. Clock continues to run. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter, and the Panthers lead it 49-3. Well, last week, New Pal lost their opening tournament game to Columbus East. But Snider looking to repeat in that state championship game, even though it may be against a new opponent. They're trying to let the state know that that's not going to happen to us. Run up the middle, takes it out to the 29, a yard shy of the 1st down. It'll bring up a 3rd down.
Wow,
you just wonder where the SAC is. We talked about this before the game, because when teams only play other conference teams, it's hard to get a gauge on how good are these teams compared to anyone else in the state, because all they do is beat up on each other. You saw last week what Southside did to Leo. They'll fake the handoff. Leads in a carry, and he won't get to the line of scrimmage. He goes down back at the 27. It'll bring up a 4th down, and you've got to assume at this point that Concord might as well gamble and go for it, even though they're at their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they will, too. And I don't know if it was you, if you had Tommy Schegler on the other day, and he said, that he said he didn't know about Snider. Could they win another state championship? They certainly could. Or any team. Could Dwenger do it again? We just don't know what the other competition around the state is actually like. Now, I can tell you 6A is pretty solid, but the rest of the state, we don't know. We don't know what the competition is. But we've seen Snider do it week in and week out against pretty good competition.
It will be a punt formation. It's a fake. They'll take it right up the middle. Looks like DeBroca took the short snap, and he's going to have a 1st down. He crosses the 30 to the 31, and by a yard, he gets the 1st down. And it's actually number 33, not 34. That's Ryan Cook who got the short snap, a sophomore running back. So the chains move. Almost like running a 4th down play, because Snider had to think of that as a possibility. 1st and 10 at their own 31. Concord with the football, trailing 49-3. Clock down to 4.5 left here in the 3rd. Faking the handoff, running it. Leeson takes it around the right end and up the field to the 38-yard line. That's 7 yards and a nice carry by Leeson.
He's good at that read option. He really does look to see what those ends are doing. If they're going for that running back, he's keeping the ball and running around the other end. So he's a good quarterback, just a young guy. Some learning curves tonight for him, the growing pains, and Snider, a good team will make you pay every time.
They place the football at the 37, where it's 2nd down and 4, and this time he will give it to the big back, DeBroca, and he'll cross the 40 to the 42, and that's very close, and I think it will be a 1st down, and it is for Concord.
Yep, the official quickly signals 1st down.
The one thing with Snider going on the road to Goshen next week, the two teams you're seeing here, Goshen would be about 12 minutes shorter than the trip that Concord made. Of course, Concord on the south side of Elkhart, and then Goshen about 10 miles south of Concord on Highway 33.
Yeah, we had to go play. Snider had to go play there last year.
Give to the running back. Nice seam up the middle, crossing the 50 into Snider territory at the 47, an 11-yard gain. And again, that's going to be DeBroca, Dominic DeBroca, right up the middle, and another 1st down for Concord. This is what we saw the whole first half, right? And they moved the football. But then when the opportunity presents itself to finish a drive, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they're a young team. This is a time for them to build on next year and keep getting better, because they've still got, 15 minutes left of football in their season. They can get better.
From the right hash, shotgun snap, give to DeBroca up the middle, and he's hit at the 45. Might have gotten forward progress to the 44, maybe a 2 to 3 yard gain for DeBroca. Second down. Clock continues to run. That's the one thing, as you think here that perhaps Concord is just going back to their basics in the way they play football, not playing the scoreboard because the game is virtually over. But they're trying to execute and do what they do here because they do have a young team that's going to return next year. And the give to DeBroca. And he's met at the line of scrimmage and thrown backwards. That's Zach McDowell, the first time we've called his name in the middle of that Snider defense, but he came up with a big play. The junior, 2-year starter, played an important role on that state championship team from a year ago. He and Lawrence Johnson, the two interior defensive tackles, and they both played the entire season as starters for Snider last year. Third down, 7 to go. Drop, quarterback keeper, and Leetzen taken down at the 40. Short of the first, it'll bring up a fourth down. And now we'll have to see what they do facing a fourth down and about 4 from the Snider 40-yard line, and they'll just keep the offense out there this time.
Yeah,
no trickery, they're going for it.
They were looking for Cedric Mitchell that time on a post there, and when he looked up, he saw Austin France dropping out of his linebacker's position right in that spot. So wisely not to throw that ball with that ball hawk, Austin France, out there. He has 4 interceptions this year.
The fourth down play. They need the 36 for a first. Roll to the left. Here comes France on a blitz, and they throw it out of bounds, incomplete. And that was just a hurried play. Leetzen rolled to the left, but he really had to hurry it because he was on a sprint trying to stay ahead of Austin France, who was in pursuit from behind. Good blitz on that fourth down by the Panthers, and the incomplete pass gives the ball back to Snider with 1:08 remaining in the third quarter, and Snider holding a 49-3 lead. This is not a position you want to be in against the Panthers because they have that big offensive line. They've got that good running game. And Snider very comfortable in this spot, trying to use those to their advantage and burn as much time as possible.
You know, and they're past their scoring average for the season. They've already scored 49. They're averaging 42.
They got 10 players within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, so they come out and throw it. And it's incomplete, trying to get an out route to Money Woods out of the backfield. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 54 seconds. Second down and 10. Panthers ball at their own 40. But the Concord defense really bringing 10 guys up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and that's one reason why Snider's been able to throw 2 deep post routes and get big touchdowns. Read option, give to the running back, Woods. He'll just keep churning out to the 45, gaining 5 yards. He was met at about the 42, but he refused to go down, and he kept pumping all the way to the 45. Third down and 5 now for Snider.
We're watching what defense Concord is in, and they basically have 0 back, and Hippenhammer basically can run that post pattern all day long, and he's got Cedric Mitchell on him and has nobody in any help for him, so I'm sure the Snider will try and run that once again, or even look for the tight ends down the middle.
Hippenhammer over here on the near side. Ball's on the left hash. Hippenhammer's wide right. Drop, and they throw a screen to Woods. Woods down the far sideline. He's into Concord territory at the 45, spinning at the 40, and taking it to the 38. Nothing fancy. They just cleared that side and let Wood kind of swing out of the backfield, and now we've got into the end of the quarter. 49-3 as we head to the fourth quarter here at Spooler Stadium. The Snider Panthers showing why they are the #1 ranked team in Class 5A, looking for a return trip down to Lucas Oil Stadium. The defending state champions have a big lead heading to the fourth. This is the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM. Why don't I hear a commercial? I don't hear anything. Hello?
Is your choice in Northern Indiana. Just like filling a medication prescription from your doctor, you have the right to choose who provides your physical therapy. And IPT accepts all insurance coverage. Open 7 to 7 with 15 conveniently located clinics. 7 in Fort Wayne, plus Angola, Auburn, Bluffton, Columbia City, Huntington, Kendallville, New Haven, and Warsaw. Indiana Physical Therapy will get you back to work, play, and life. Celebrating 28 years in business, Indiana Physical Therapy is your choice for physical therapy. Call 260-209-2464 or visit indianapt.com.
It's high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Vegas Fuller Stadium with Ryan Dellinger. I am Brett Rump. We head to the fourth quarter with the Panthers in front comfortably over the Concord Minutemen, 49-3. Snider starts the fourth quarter with a Money Woods run, taking it wide to the far sideline, but a penalty has brought it back. It's first down and 12. Snider has the ball at the Concord 40. Here's a formation they ran where Hopper took off in the first half. Hopper, pump fake and go. Hip and hammer at the goal line, runs under it and catches it on the fly. Touchdown! Pump and go. Hopper to hip and hammer. Beautiful throw as Hopper was drilled just as he let go of it. A 40-yard touchdown play. And that was perfect. Hopper just laid it out about as far as he could throw it, and Hip and Hammer ran to it.
And he had pressure on him that time, too. He just got enough air underneath it to let him run by him.
Got hit right in the thighs just as he let go of the football. Snider's up 55-3. The extra point by Boozman again splits the uprights, and the Panthers 56, Concord 3, 11 and a half to play. Another scoring drive presented by Best Deal Auto Sales. If you want to score on your next drive, get a car, truck, or SUV from any of the 5 Best Deal Auto Sales locations. Best value, best financing, best deal at Best Deal Auto Sales. Your Partners First Federal Credit Union high school football game of the week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
I don't do ordinary. I go for bold flavor. That's why I love Dr. Pepper. So I ordered a large at McDonald's, and the guy says,
That'll be $1.
a large Dr. Pepper is just $1? No way.
Yes way. All soft drinks any size are $1.
In that case, I'll take some Chicken McNuggets, too. Oh, with barbecue sauce.
Ooh, bold choice.
Hey, you know me.
Enjoy the always one-of-a-kind Dr. Pepper or any soft drink, any size, for just $1 at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary for a limited time.
Now back to high school football, presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
With Ryan Dellinger, I am Brett Rump. DC Hendricks back in the studios. 11:29 remaining in this one, and Snider putting it away, 56-3 over the Concord Minutemen. Coming up after the game, we'll jump over to the Pine Valley Pizza Hut for your Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show. Darren Wright will be our official scoreboard operator with scores, highlights, and more coming up after the game. Here's Boozman with the kick. High kick, and it's returnable, taken at about the 3-yard line. Crossing from right to left, now cutting up at the hash marks on the left side, out to the 12 and maybe out to the 14 before he finally hits the turf. So about a 11 or 12-yard return. Now it's Concord with the ball, and they don't have great field position, starting inside their own 15-yard line.
See if they bring out the same quarterback or if they try somebody else out there. It looks like Leedson's still in there. But Snider is definitely, they are running in some subs now.
Yep.
A lot of
backups in the Snider defensive unit right now. Saying that McDowell is still in there at a defensive lineman, but I think he's the only starter that's still in there up front for the Panthers. A couple of backups at linebacker, a couple of players in the secondary, and there's a big hole right up the middle on cue. Big run across the 35 to the 37. Well, Snider puts their backup defense in, and immediately Concord burns him for about a 23-yard play out to the 37-yard line.
I think you and I could have ran through that hole, Brett. Maybe.
Dominic DeBroca with the carry. Impressive running back for Concord. Again, the running back and the quarterback, both juniors, they will return for the Minutemen. Clock continues to run, under 10.5 minutes here in the fourth quarter. Drop in the pocket. Leeson is going to air it out. Far sideline, man-to-man coverage, and it was almost picked off. In fact, the corner on coverage actually had better position and a better chance at it than the receiver.
Yeah, that was Lucas Owens, a sophomore that last year played at Carroll and has transferred over to Snider. So good defense there, had inside position, and that ball was right there for him to pick up.
Yeah, you throw that deep sideline route and you underthrow it, and the corner has inside coverage. It should have been an interception, but the wide receiver did a good job of making sure it wasn't picked off. Here's a handoff up the middle on 3rd down and 10, and it goes for about 3 yards out to the 40-yard line. Brings up 4th down, I believe. Is it 3rd or 4th now?
Looks like 3rd
down and 7. They were quick on the down marker. So 3rd and 7 from their own 40 for Concord, and the clock continues to run. We're under 9.5 minutes. And a lightning quick game here.
Yeah, and a lightning quick scores by Bishop DeWinger. They're up 49-2.
Drop in the pocket, Leedson throws far sideline. It's a high throw and over his intended receiver, incomplete. Tried to get it out there to Cedric Mitchell. About 5 yards past the stick on the far sideline, and it sailed over his head. Now it's going to be a punting situation for Concord with a 4th and 7 from their own 40, and they will line up as if they are going to punt.
Yeah, I got another score update for you. This is in hockey. The Comets at the end of one, the Fort Wayne Comets over Allen, 1-0.
Big win with a rematch from the Western Conference Finals from a year ago. And a lot of the same faces out there. Here's the punt, and it is booted. It'll take a bounce and go right over to Demarius Ridley and all the way to the goal line. And what's Hippenhammer doing? He's chasing it. Nobody hit it, so I don't know why Hippenhammer was in such a sprint to chase it down, but it was down at the 1-yard line. Concord got there, but Hippenhammer with that sprint to the ball after it bounced over to Demarius Ridley and rolled inside the 10, inside the 5, and Hippenhammer was chasing it. It's a good thing he never touched it. So Concord downs it, and Snider starts this drive inside their own 1-yard line with 8:42 left. Panthers lead at 56-3. Still zip in the World Series game between the Indians and the Cubs. Is it the 4th?
Yeah, no, they're in the middle of the 3rd. And the Cubs are about ready to come up to a bat. They left a runner on last time at second base, Zobrist.
High formation, and the running back is the tailback who follows the right side of the line to get some space. He does cross the 5 out to the 6, and it's Christian Covington with the carry. We are seeing the backups now coming in for the Snider Panthers, including a backup quarterback, Brandon Young, 6'1", 170. He's a sophomore backing up Michael Hopper. Now a new running back will come in now that the ball's out to the 6-yard line. The tailback is Amon Walton. And Walton right up the middle with the handoff. He'll take it out to about the 8. And I think we'll see yet another running back coming in from the sideline. Anias Lockett.
Yeah.
Another sophomore will line up at tailback, and he'll probably get his chance to get a carry. Let's see, changing formation. Snider should have a substitution penalty because they had that, broke the huddle with 12. Stroud gets off the field. There's the handoff, and that is going to be a loss. At the 7-yard line, Lockett got hit and knocked backwards. So not enough to move the chains. The punting unit's going to have to come on for Snider, and Paul Boozman will be doing the punting with 7:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Panthers leading at 56-3 over Concord.
Yeah, this game's moving right along compared to our last time we saw the Panthers play.
Yeah.
It's Bishop Luers. That game took quite a long time due to an injury, which Brandon Cox has been cleared to go back to resume practicing with the Panthers.
Here's the snap. It's good. Boozman's kick is away. An end-over-end kick bounces at 35, 40, 45. Nice Snider roll. And I think it's going to be down somewhere near the Concord 47-yard line, which
sure that he
the result is a pretty good kick, about a 46-yarder. But, yeah, I'm not sure. Did the officials see that it was touched at the 47 or 48-yard line? Yeah, I think they did, because they're now discussing it, and I think it's going to be marked around the 47-yard line. Well, they do. They mark it at the 46, so maybe they didn't see it get touched. 6:45, our clock is running. We're in the fourth quarter. Snider leads it over Concord 56-3. This is a Minutemen team that came in 6-3 during the regular season. They were 5-2 in their conference, the Northern Lakes Conference. Of course, that conference also features Northwood, which is an undefeated team in 4A, and also includes Warsaw, which is a 5-4 team in 6A, and it's Carroll's opponent tonight. Early, I know Carroll was struggling with Warsaw. Not sure if we've got a score update.
Yeah, they're down 16-7 late in that game, and that's new quarterback for Concord, number 4, Ethan Kane, in the game. And some of the SAC schools' seasons will potentially can come to an end tonight.
Of course, we know an SAC school will drop out at Homestead because you've got Northrop versus Homestead in a 6A matchup. From the right hash, Snider looks like they jumped into the neutral zone, but I don't see a flag. Pass over here on the near sideline, and did it get caught? Yes, but out of bounds pretty quickly.
That was an awkward-looking play.
Yeah, it was just ugly from the start. Pass is completed to Wagner. Or correction, James. Julius James made the catch. And again, the new quarterback for Concord is Ethan Kane, a freshman. 6 foot, 160-pounder. Clock runs, and 7 seconds on the play clock. It's going to run out. Down to 3, and Kane just comes on the field with 1, and there's the zeros.
Yeah, wisely that official says, let's just give him another 40 and keep
he's
going.
A freshman. Let's give him a few extra.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a mulligan. Well, a lot of movement up front, and there's whistles and flags. You can tell that some of these guys haven't had a lot of experience of playing because the call on Snider. I'm not sure who actually was the one who moved first, but both sides were moving. 5-yard march off against the Panthers. 56-3. Snider leads. We're down to 4:22 left. Concord with the football at the Snider 47 after the march off. It's 3rd down and 3. Panthers will move into double digits in wins. This will be their 10th on the season. And they will be going to Goshen to finish off the Class 5A sectional. There's a handoff up the middle, and that's not going to be a first down. Only a couple of yards on that carry. And now with 4th down and 2 from the Snider 46, the punting unit started to come on. Now some hesitation, and here they come.
Nope.
Or is it? No, it's just a whole new personnel unit.
And Snider has not figured out that they're not punting.
Yeah, they put like 9 new guys on the field, so everybody thought it must be the punt unit. Well, no, it's just a whole new personnel package.
And Snider better call.
And Snider's not sure what they're supposed to do because they don't have their defense. They've got their punt return. Hippenhammer's out there. Demarius Ridley's out there, and they will run it. It's a sweep going to the left, and he gets hit as he turns the edge short of the first down. Well, whoever ended up on the field for Snider, and that's it. Well,
Ethan
Hoover over there. You know, the funny thing was the punt return unit is almost the first team defense. Look at him. You got Hoover, you got Slaughter, you got Hippenhammer, you got Demarius Ridley, you got a lot of the first team defenders, DeAndre Stroud. There's Wells, Tristan Wells. That's a unit that would not have been out there, but on fourth down, they get to go out and make a stop, and the ball gets turned over to Snider with 2:58 to play. Handoff in the backfield. That's going to be nothing. A loss.
Flag.
Well, the run was Cameron with the, or rather Cameron Trotter with the carry. Got to remember, there's one side where the lineup has first name, last name. The other one's last name, first name. You got to keep it straight.
Oh, looks that was on
the face mask.
Yeah.
I think maybe in all that spinning and scrambling that Trotter did, maybe Concord got a hold of his face mask at some point. So the ball's put at the 49 of Concord. First down and 4. We're under 2 minutes to play here at Spooler Stadium. Handoff up the middle. The run will be first down yardage inside Concord's 45 to the 44-yard line. And with that carry, let's check the number. That one's going to be number 25. That is Amon Walton. Clock continues to run. We're under a minute 40. 56-3. Panthers rolling to their 10th win. Handoff inside the 40-yard line of Concord. A 5-yard carry.
That was Anias Lockett.
And Lockett this time. It's the rotating tailbacks for Snider. Right now, I think they got 3 or 4 of them that are just rotating in.
Yeah,
most of them all sophomores, I think.
After 3 complete innings at the World Series, it's 0-0 between the Cubs and the Indians.
We're almost down to 1 minute to play.
What a fast game.
Yeah, we're getting this one done in 2 hours.
You might get to eat a little bit before you have to go on the air at the Pizza Hut tonight.
I'm concerned Darren might not even be there yet. Normally we start the show at 9:30, and there's one knee, the victory formation. Snider will have to do it one more time. But it's third down, so they'll have a down to do it with. Panthers are going to wrap this one up 56-3. At one point, it was a 7-3 game. Snider scored the last 49 points. And the defense pivotal. And, you know, last year, I think the secondary was much maligned during the postseason. Well, they came out tonight, made a statement. 3 interceptions, 2 of them taken for touchdowns. And the Snider Panthers have defeated the Concord Minutemen by a final score of 56-3. Concord's season ends 6-4. Snider 10-0. And the sectional championship will be next Friday night with about a 1-hour trip up to Goshen. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll tell you about the scoring in this one and kind of wrap up what we're doing here as we get set for the Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show coming up at the Pizza Hut in a few minutes. You're listening to the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
This broadcast is brought to you by Partners First Credit Union. See them for mortgages, home equity loans, great rates on auto loans, and multiple options for your checking and savings accounts. At Partners First, they'll call you by name because you're not just a customer, you're a member. Visit partnersfirstcu.org for more information or stop in any of the local Partners First branch offices. Partners First Federal Credit Union, supporting the community as the presenting sponsor of high school football on ESPN 1380.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
For leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan, like me, coming home can be harder than expected. I felt a little out of place, but it turns out I wasn't alone. At IAVA.org, there's a free online community of thousands of OIF and OEF vets who've got your back here, just like they did over there. So now, I'm never alone. I can get the resources I need and talk to tons of people who understand where I'm coming from.
Whether it's navigating the GI Bill,
or VA hospitals,
managing the transition home, or meeting people you can share stories with,
you'll find it at IAVA.org. Even if it's just everyday stuff, like getting tips on where to find a nice sweater for my dog.
Did he just say that? Really?
What?
Okay, maybe not that, but everything else. No matter where you are, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America is there for you. Join our community at IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Brought to you by Iraq, Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
It's high school football presented by Partners First Federal Credit Union on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back to Spooler Stadium. I am Brett Rump along with Ryan Dellinger.
What are you still
First
doing
time,
here?
I know, first time I've ever done this. Usually you're solo by this time, and I'm shooting as fast as I can to the Pizza Hut, but we've got time. It was a quick game here at Spooler Stadium, and the Snider Panthers prevail over Concord 56-3. Well, they don't mess around here getting the score off the scoreboard and out of town. So it's 56-3, I believe, Ryan, and
Correct.
to audit that, I'm going to go ahead and have you give us a rundown of all of our scoring in tonight's game.
Well, at the 7:26 mark of the first quarter, Snider got on board when Michael Hoppert hit DeAndrew Stroud from 3 yards out. That capped an 81-yard drive. The extra point was good. It was 7-0, the Snider Panthers at that point. And then at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, Concord got on the board when their field goal kicker, Gorbel, kicked a 32-yard field goal. That capped a 79-yard drive. And we had a competitive game at this point at 7-3 Snider Panthers. Then in the second quarter, it was Snider intercepting a ball at the 9:26 mark when Austin Franson intercepted a ball and ran it back 93 yards for the Panthers. The extra point was good, 14-3 Panthers at this point. Then at the 6:41 mark of the second quarter, Snider once again was on the board when Michael Hoppert hit Mac Hippenhammer for his first of his 2 touchdown passes tonight to Hippenhammer from 33 yards out. That capped a 38-yard drive, 21-3 Panthers at that point. And then at the 4:35 mark of the second quarter, Snider on the board once again when Taj Starks intercepts the pass and runs it back 28 yards. Another extra point was good, 28-3 Snider in control at this point. And then with no time left on the clock in the second quarter, it was a blocked field goal by Dom Slaughter that was picked up and ran back by Denarius Morgan for 90 yards as the clock expired. The extra point was good, and Snider's in total control at halftime, 35-3 Panthers at that point. And then in the third quarter at the 9:39 mark, it was just one play after Snider got the ball. Michael Hoppert calls his own number, goes 62 yards for a touchdown run. That was the first play. 62-yard drive, 62-yard run. Snider's extra point was good, 42-3 Panthers at that point. And the third quarter again, it was once again Hoppert to Jordan Gorman from 52 yards out. At the 6:43 mark, another extra point good by Paul Boozman, and the Panthers up 49-3 at this point. Then in the fourth quarter, one last score at the 11:29 mark when Michael Hoppert hit Mac Hippenhammer for his second touchdown pass from 40 yards out. That was one play, 40-yard drive, and that was it. And they kicked the extra point, and then after that, it was pretty much just run the ball, both teams. And the Panthers are victorious tonight and headed to play Goshen next week. And they win tonight 56-3. Best we've seen the Panthers defense play this year, especially their secondary.
So Snider, with a 10-0 mark, will advance into the sectional championship next week. And, of course, what we're going to do, and a note to D.C., is we'll go ahead and pick up some bonus coverage. The Garrett Railroaders are at Culver Academies, and John Nolan has the call of that game. So we will go to a commercial break here and then give you some bonus coverage of that game. When that game ends, then you'll get the interview up close, the AWP interview with Deshaun Bussell that Michael Lito was able to have earlier this week. So you'll hear that, and then we'll join you from the Pizza Hut at Pine Valley for the Indiana Physical Therapy postgame show. Thanks to D.C. Hendricks back in the ESPN 1380 and 100.9 FM studios. An update from Chicago, still scoreless, top of the fourth with one out. And, of course, the series tied 1 game apiece. We'll keep you updated. Right now, we'll sign out from here. And, of course, bonus coverage of the Garrett Railroaders and Culver coming up right after this commercial break. Our final score at Spuller Stadium. The Snider Panthers defeat the Concord Minutemen 56-3. This has been the Partners First Federal Credit Union High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN Radio 1380 and 100.9 FM.
Pizza Hut, before or after the game. Try the delicious grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza for just $12.99.